Hello flute players. So today we're working on finishing off the rest of Air and Dance. Just getting our way through it does not mean it has to be perfect. It definitely isn't when I play it. It's going to take time and practice. First we're going to warm up with our scales though. So get ready. We're going to go to our metronome. Open up your metronome. 80 beats per minute. 8 beats each note. Here we go, starting on our concert B flat, which is our B flat. 1, 2. Right, so that's it up on its way up, do it on its way down, both ways, pause me, do it a couple times, get your lips up and running. Obviously, I still can't do it perfectly as well. That A for me was very shaky, so that's something I'm going to continue working on as we go through these videos. Once you've paused me and played that a couple times, let's head over to our piece. Now, Flute 1 and Flute 2 will have different sections. At this point, I will play Flute 1 first, and Flute 2, I will tell you in the Google link description what time you can start your private lesson at. It's going to be a combined video to save me time. So, if we scroll on down, I told you last week to end at 33. You are lucky, because when the tempo changes at 33, it goes to allegro. If you listen to the piece, you've noticed this. It goes faster. It suddenly stops at the end of 32, and then it starts at a new tempo at 33. A lot of instruments start right at 33, so they have to get used to the tempo right as they start playing. You have 8 measures to figure out where the new tempo is, which is really nice. But let us just start at 41. Flute 1, this is your part. You start on a G. It's about here. So I'm going to practice right there. I'm going to put on my metronome. Metronome. I'm going to put it a little bit slower. About 60. It's going to be about 85 or 90 normally. Let me just double check that I'm right there. It's actually going to be about 100 when we're done, when we practice with the recording. So bring it back down. I'm doing it at 60. You'll do it with me at 60. Starting at 41. 1, 2, ready, go. stop there, talk a little bit about what that section has new. Now, I'm still practicing this with you, so my interpretation is not perfect. I'm hitting the notes right, but I'm not phrasing it correctly, and that will take time, and we'll get better as we do more and more of this. But right off the bat, you start at mezzo piano, you know that. And most of your rhythms are pretty simple. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1. Right? So, notice the rhythms are straight. We've been doing a lot of jazz playing, which would make this 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3. We're not doing jazz here anymore. This is a concert band piece. So it's 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Very straight. The 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. They're all equal, not swing, where it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We'll get back to some swing material later. But right now, straighten out those eighth notes. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Right? So, also remember that your A flats are A flats, not A's. It will sound weird if you play an A. That's thumb, 1, 2, 3, pinky in the left hand, nothing in the right hand. Right? That is an A flat. Play that A flat, get used to that A flat. I will start again at 57 and go straight to the end with my metronome. 57. 1, 2, ready, go. There's the whole piece at 60 beats per minute, broken into 2 sections. That's something that's going to take a lot of practice and time to get right. I'm still not playing it perfectly the way I want to. This week is really about getting those notes right at a reasonable tempo. Focus on pitch and rhythm. We will shed on tone, dynamics, and other articulations in our next lesson. This is just about getting ink on the page, getting it playing, and getting the notes sounding right. Now, as a test for myself, and I recommend you do this as a test but not as a judge of how well you're doing, I'm going to play it with the recording, right? That is going to go, interestingly, let me get to the point. So, Just so you know, the new tempo begins at 1 minute and 45 seconds into the recording. Since we have an 8 measure rest at that section, I will start there. I will rotate my iPad so I can see the whole page. And hopefully it will stay that way. And then starting at 33, read along with me, get used to hearing it, and then if you are ready this week to play along with the recording, please do. Do not pressure it. Your homework this week will be playing measures 41 to the end. It's a lot of repeating the same thing at 60 beats per minute, right? So 60 beats per minute. Starting at measure 33. So 8 measures of rest. 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3. 5, 6, 41. There's the whole piece. I fell apart right near the end there at about 78, 79, feeling a little bit dizzy. Don't do the whole piece if you're not ready for it. I just wanted you to have access to a recording of it so you know how it sounds. Now Flute 1, this is where your lesson ends for today, and Flute 2, we will pick up at 12 minutes and 55 seconds. So Flute 1, you are done for the day. Go practice. Flute 2, welcome back. We are going to now talk about your part starting at measure 33. Now, you might have watched a little bit of the Flute 1 video, and you know that at measure 33, it changes tempo. So we get to allegro. It's about 100 beats per minute. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum. You're lucky because you have 8 measures of rest to figure out this new speed, this new tempo. Many instruments start right on the downbeat of 33. You have until 41 to really settle into that new groove and breathe a little bit. So I will start at measure 41. The full tempo is a little fast to sight read at, so I've opened my metronome. I have it at 60 beats per minute, which sounds like this. I will play starting at measure 41 and ending at measure 57. Follow along, pause me, rewind me, and replay with me when you're ready. 1, 2. Sorry, I started playing the Flute 1 part from memory. Our first note is an E flat. Flute 1 plays a G, so you're not aiming for the same note as them. I'll start again. 1, 2. Pausing there because I messed up. Let's take a look at measure 46 right there. We have an E flat, an F, and a G. section is E flat, C, C, A flat, C, D. It's not where you think it's going to go. It's that low A flat. So remember, all of your A's now are flat. That's thumb, 1, 2, 3, and pinky in your left hand, nothing in your right hand. A low one sounds like this. A high one sounds like this. We're ending for the low one here. Let's hit it, starting at measure 46 now. 1, 2, ready, go. So, there you go up until measure 57. Now, at measure 53, it looks like you actually pick up back where, or actually 49 is where you pick back up with flute 1. So sometimes you'll be playing the same thing as flute 1s, sometimes not. Now, let's start at 57, get it all down. 1, 2, ready, go. And that's the whole thing. I made one mistake that I'd like to rectify immediately. 82, I played 2 B flats. It's a C, a B flat, and an E afterwards. I'll play starting at 82. 2, ready, go. And note the rhythm there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, rest, 3, 4. Now that's the whole thing. That's a lot of work I'm giving you this week, and we're going to have a lot of time to work on it. We don't expect the piece to be perfect this week. We expect it to be able, you can get through the whole thing with a tempo at about 60. I'm going to attempt to play it through with the recording as my final act. It won't go well, you'll see it, and it's just seeing how far I can get through the recording. If you're comfortable playing with the recording this week, especially those of you in upper grades, feel free to. We are going to work more on tone development, articulation, and dynamics next week. I will rotate my music so I can see the whole thing, and then start at measure 41. Get back over to Spotify. I'll start at measure 33 actually, so that I have a little bit of a run up. Forgive me, I've been playing flute for a little bit, so I'm not at my best. But here we go. 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, that's me attempting to get through the whole thing. The wheels fell off at a couple points, but notice, you keep counting. You keep picking up where you are. This isn't about a perfect piece this week. This is about finding areas that you know are going to be difficult for you. Areas that are difficult for me, which I assume will be difficult for you, are that one section at 47, where it goes from E flat to C to A flat to C, and then back up to D in that kind of half cadence, where it goes at high speed. That's a lot of finger moving, and that's difficult for me. Also 70 going E flat, F, C, D. That's a pretty large leap. That's a perfect fourth. So that sounds like, and that's going to be an area that might be difficult for you. Watch your air on this. This is something that I'm continuing to work on, and you need to as well. I breathe a lot more than I should when I control my air. And that I need to work on extending my phrases and articulations. So that's why we're working on the 8-note scale at the beginning. And last thing I mentioned to Flute 1, but I have to mention to you as well, is the 8th notes in this piece are straight, not swung. We've been working on a lot of jazz repertoire so far. We are back to playing 8th notes even. So if we have 8th notes, we have been used to playing them jazz, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and not equal. I need you to play them equal. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So starting at 41, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Measure 43, that 1, 2 and 3, 4 is not 1, 2 and 3, 4. It's straight, like 1, 2 and 3, 4. So your homework this week is to record measures 41 to the end. It seems like a lot, but a lot of it is repeating. There's only actually 3 ideas in this section, so it shouldn't be too much work. Keep rehearsing the beginning and get the end down as well as you can. I need you to record it with a metronome at 60 beats per minute. If 60 is too fast for you, I will accept 50. But I will, if you have any questions, email me. Here's obviously the example. Rehearse with a recording of me. Record it by yourself with a metronome. If you have any questions, email me, chat me. I will be around, and I will talk to you during our Zoom session. See you later.